Brad is going to say, your leg, that's going to hurt. After you do your light inspection, Brad's going to come inside. He's going to say, okay, Abraham, go ahead and give me an in-cab inspection. Then you're going to go, I will now perform an in-cab inspection. First, I will be checking my safety equipment, my seat belt. It's properly mounted and secured. It's not ripped or frayed. It adjusts and latches properly. My fire extinguisher is located behind my driver's seat, properly mounted and secured, fully charged. My 3 red reflective triangles are located underneath the bunk. My spare electrical fuses are located in the glove box. I will now perform a safe start. In order to do that, I will ensure I'm in neutral, place my foot on my service brake, turn my key to the on position, allow my gauges to cycle through and check my ABS light goes on and off, and it did. I will now start my engine. Okay, my engine has started. I'm going to now check my gauges. First gauge I'll be checking is my voltmeter. Voltmeter indicates it's charging between 13 to 14 volts. My water temperature is rising to normal operating range. My oil pressure is rising to normal operating range. My 2 air gauges are building the governor cut between 120 to 125 psi. My city horn works. My air horn works. My windshield and mirrors are properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken. No obstructions. They are clean. My mirrors are adjusted to my view. My windshield wipers and washers, they are properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken. They operate smoothly. My windshield wiper blades are not worn, torn, or dry rotten. My defrost works. My heater works. My lighting indicators. My left turn signal indicator light. My right turn signal indicator light. My bright light indicator. My 4-way flasher light indicators all work. I will now perform my parking brake tug test. The first tug test I will perform will be on my trailer. In order to do that, I'm going to press my foot down on the brake. I'm going to release my tractor parking brake. I'm going to put it in gear. I will give a slight tug on my trailer. I felt the tug, it works. I will now check my tractor parking brake to make sure it works properly. I will do that by releasing my trailer parking brake, putting it back in gear, leaving my tractor parking brake engaged, and giving it a slight tug. I felt the tug, it works. I will now perform a service brake check. To do that, I will release both parking brakes, put my tractor in gear. I'm going to move forward to 5 miles an hour. I will then apply my service brake to make sure I do not move to the left or to the right. I did not move to the left or to the right. That was a good check. I'm going to back up just to get out of their way. Okay. All right. I will now perform an air brake check. First, I will make sure I'm in neutral. I will pull both of my protection valves out. And now I will set up for my air brake check. By chalking my tires. Okay, I've chalked my tires. My vehicle is secure. I will now press in both of my protection valves. I'm going to let the air build back up. Okay, I will now start my air brake test. I'll turn my engine to the off position. I will now turn the engine back to the on position. Allow my gauges to cycle and stabilize. Okay, my gauges are stable. I will now press my foot down on the service brake and allow my gauges to stabilize again. Okay, my gauges have stabilized again. I will now begin my applied brake check. I'm going to hold my foot down on the service brake for 1 minute. I should not lose more than 4 psi, and I'll be listening for any air leaks. Mr. Examiner, will you time me for a minute?
Yes.
Okay. And now he's actually going to time you for a minute. Okay. So let's just go ahead and, you got me timed?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go ahead and do this. You're going to hold your leg firmly down on the service brake. Do not let it up. You should not hear any you know what I'm saying? Hold it down firmly. We're watching our gauges. Any PSI loss, we need to take note of it. If you need to use 2 legs, use 2 legs.
Don't take that foot off that brake, whatever you do.
Don't do it. That's an easy fail.
You fail this part, you fail the whole test.
Yep.
Everything. Okay.
Okay, it's
1
been
minute.
1 minute. Okay, Mr. Examiner, it's been 1 minute. I have not lost more than 4 psi, and I did not hear any air leaks. I will now begin stage 2 of my air brake test. I'm going to pump down to low air warning light and buzzer. I will now begin my pump down. My low air warning light and buzzer should happen at or before 60 psi. Okay, my low air warning light and buzzer did go on, and it came on at or before 60 psi. We'll now begin stage 3 of my air brake test. Pump down to protection valve pop out. This should happen between 40 and 20 psi. I will now begin my pump down. Look for these gaps. You notice how one didn't pop out at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when they pop out or you think they pop out, you need to look and make sure you see these little gaps here, these little grooves. That means they popped out.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my protection valves have popped out. They popped out between 40 and 20 psi. This concludes my in-cab inspection.
Boom, you hit it right over the head.
You